Hey guys. Well, that was a pretty exciting game number 1 that we just saw over here in the EU region. Gonna reprieve Sheever, Owen, and Lizard there, and we're gonna get to hang out with us for a while. So I'm Moxie, we've got Kips, and we've got Bareki CPK.
Hello.
Guys, we started watching that in the other room, and there was a lot of noises coming out from production, from this room, from where we were. Tell us a little bit about it.
That was a fun game to watch. I mean, it was fun, but at the same time, it's sometimes the best Dota is, as far as the most entertaining to watch, isn't necessarily the cleanest Dota. And I think it's safe to say that game had plenty of that. Just very chaotic moments. One team, they'd get a pick on OD, they would start pushing like crazy, and then they realized, wait a second, we're dealing with a 25-9 slotted Terrorblade. Maybe this is a bad idea, and then they would get pushed back. It just was a back and forth brute fest. Absolute insanity, but what a way to... That was game 1. We got game 2 still coming up.
Yeah, we do, for sure. What do you think, Kips? I know that you were watching there, like both of us are saying. I was definitely just going, what is happening this entire game? Very back and forth.
I was looking at it from time to time, and in the beginning I thought, all right, you know, this is a clear draft win for OG, whatever, don't have to look at this anymore. And then I look back and the game is still going, and I look back and the game is still going, and it just got crazier and crazier.
Later.
Yeah. I mean, there was a 20-0-20 Excalibur.
Was he actually 20-0-20?
Yeah, at some point he was 20-0-20. Like, he died a couple of times after, but that man took everything on his back.
He can carry.
And then what was the...
He mentioned something about like almost or maybe even 1100 GPM, which is insanity for that long of a game, not playing Alchemist, you know, etc. And on top of that, it was like 1300 last hits, I think, which is just, again, it's crazy stuff. But it still wasn't enough. The 9-slotted Terrorblade was still not enough in the end. OG came through.
My question is, do we see the Terrorblade making it through the draft now?
Probably. It always does. So probably. Somehow it still always does. I think what we need to do is we
need to give you the Terrorblade, one of the little...
I put it right there.
Because every time you grab it out, you're like, oh, this is definitely going back out on the table.
And then
it doesn't end good.
Yeah. Okay. I could. It's so far away, though. When it actually gets picked, I'll get up.
All right. So, speaking of heroes we're not going to see... Not going to be seeing that position 5 Nature's Prophet that had like...
Yeah.
He ended up the highest net worth on the board, I believe.
Net worth.
Yes.
Yeah.
For OG at least, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, you're not getting past Excalibur that game, of course. My apologies.
You know, funny thing about that, though, too... Of course, we're prepping for the NA region, right? We're coming in for the night shift and ideally casting the NA region, and we understood, you know, probably have to cast a European match. That's what we're doing here. But I was watching Complexity. They were taking on Forward Gaming, actually, in their first-round matchup, and they just played a 70-plus minute game themselves.
Yeah.
That was a Divine Rapier going back and forth. It also involved the Nature's Prophet late game. That level 25 talent is insane. No matter what role you're playing with that hero, if you get to 25, as we saw that game, it can do work. So absolutely legit hero, and I'm not surprised to see that one banned.
Nope, definitely not. Definitely not. No, it's crazy. We were all watching, you know, different NA games. We had, I believe, Eternal Envy Stack actually just faced off with EG, and a little bit of a surprise there with that game.
Did they take game 2?
I know they took.
They lost the first game of that series.
Yeah,
they were close in game 2 though. I don't know how it played out. There's just so many games going on. So.
And then we had I was watching Team versus Started from the Bottom too. So.
Yeah.
And that one was going over to Team, but yeah, we're here in EU again. wasn't expecting this, but I'm pretty excited to be able to get the chance, especially after seeing that last game.
If we get the game that's half the game of the previous one,
I'm gonna die if that's the case. Like,
it's gonna be a long night.
I can hear OD just screaming in the studio.
I see one of our most familiar first picks over here, though. It is the Tiny.
All right.
Who is apparently not just a staple of South America.
No, this also is. Oh, we finally get an Enchantress.
I was telling you guys, like, this hero needs to start happening. When is the time for Sprink? And the time for Sprink is now.
Time for Sprink. OG ran it earlier. I was actually watching, so again, trying to watch a little bit of the European matches here and there earlier in the day, and I noticed, I don't know if it was No Tail Planet or JRX, but I'm pretty sure at least that they were the ones that were running it. And again, yeah, we talked about this yesterday, whatever it was, the potential of this hero. So it's I'm excited to see, because I actually didn't, I noticed that they were running it. I didn't get to see how they ran and how it actually did, but again, on paper, it sounds like it has potential.
It's definitely hard when you're doing off shifts from each other.
Yeah.
And you want to watch the games. And
It's hard to call this, actually.
Just over there.
Yeah, let's put the Witch Doctor over here for now. Like, you were saying that they were running the Enchantress support before?
They did, yeah. I don't know who they paired it with. It was in the off lane, I want to say. I don't know who they paired it with, though.
We have the power of the internet. We can look it
How
up.
about that?
Be our guide, Moxie.
I will. I will be the Googler.
The Googler. But yeah, Monkey King picked up by OG as well. We just saw, it was Jarek's playing it, right? For them there, yeah, the whole Monkey King Nature's Prophet supporting cast. I pointed that out. That's not your everyday supporting cast, but
well, they
this is
might
OG.
run these two both supports as well in that case if they're not afraid to do that.
So we actually, if we want to look back here, it was Enchantress, Tiny, Troll, Darkseer, and Skywrath Mage.
So it was with the Darkseer over there, yeah. That was the Skywrath Mage game, the tops and yeah. Didn't go so well. That was against Liquid, right?
Yes, it was against Liquid.
All right.
So let's see. Ember Spirit out, Morphling out. So as the bans on the Timber Saw now, and one more for OG.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm wondering if the Terrorblade is still not out, guys.
5 seconds remaining.
Nope, still there.
Should I? Here, I'm just going to toss it over there. Maybe that'll take care of it.
It doesn't matter. You'll be forced to go get it most likely.
I probably would be, yeah. So
I think you need Ice Frog in order to be able to do that, you know?
right.
It's like with Io.
Oh, poor Io.
yeah.
Poor Io.
All right,
Sad music.
No, TB's out now. You got your wish?
All right. There we go.
Don't
Because
have to
Brady
show.
touched the.
I was-
Yeah, he touched
the
it.
hero
Picked up
model.
on that.
He cursed it.
You're welcome, Internet.
Cursed.
You're welcome.
Cursed now. All right. Lots of nice lockdown though coming out from the side of Real Deal so far. Do you get the Life Stealer
Stealer
pickup,
again.
which we saw?
As me. Yeah, I don't think we're done with Nikes anytime soon now.
No, he's proven, again, in our matches that we've been coming out of the regions, and clearly just the last game, this
Can you give him a little tap?
little nudge. There you go. And speaking of stats, I think Weapons or whoever pointed out also that Lifesteal actually had the most damage done that game, the most hero damage done, which might sound surprising when you're dealing with that Terrorblade 9-slotted, but with his feastability and the farm that he had, and I'm assuming he had a Radiance in there as well.
Yeah.
No doubt that helps.
Yeah, Lifestealer is definitely one of the big winners of this patch. We've seen him across every single region at this point. Just having that little buff to that movement speed has really helped benefit him
Doom.
too.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit confused at seeing the Doom picked into the Lifestealer so much. Because Lifestealer seems to me one of the heroes that has consistently dealt with it like the best throughout all patches. Like you would actually see Lifestealer picked into Doom just because of his ability to keep regenning by simply lifestealing through it.
Yeah.
And his huge HP pool.
10 seconds
So
But yeah, again, we just saw last game, and I mean, also later on in the game, whenever he got doomed, he would just walk away, and for the most part, seemed like he did get out, but it did seem still annoying, even though on paper it shouldn't necessarily be the biggest steal for him compared to others. But
I mean, I imagine that against the Enchanters, though, it's going to do relatively well.
yeah,
Depending on what build she goes, of course, but you can, make use of the buffet that's coming straight at you. As well as dooming her is just a very effective way of shutting down her contribution.
So how did they change Enchantress, by the way? It was the enchant, was it the cooldown?
Enchant
reduced,
cooldown
right?
as well as duration on creeps.
Okay.
So you can get more creeps now, but they also don't last as long.
Yeah.
But the big part of it for me is that now you get the purge every 20 seconds.
Yeah, you can spam that slow like crazy, yeah.
It's huge.
True. All right, so back to OG. Again, assuming that's going to be a support Monkey King at this point, and likely a support Enchantress, but OG, who the hell knows?
Who knows?
Well, there's the Beastmaster.
Yeah.
One of Kips's favorite heroes over there.
Absolutely.
Good at
And
everything.
I'm not sure which hero. I'm guessing you'd want to run the Enchantress on the safe lane still, have the Monkey King with the Beastmaster.
Yeah.
But just because the pairings seem to make more sense to me this way. I'm getting better at that.
Yeah, you are. Good job.
See, we told you by the end of the week you're going to have it.
Practicing that shuffleboard at the hotel, I see.
Shh.
All right, so the Real Deal. By the way, this Real Deal team, I mean, it's their name after all, but they deserve props. Didn't they take a game off of Liquid earlier, if I'm not mistaken? So Here they are contesting against OG. You know, their whole roster, you were kind of talking about that, you know, who are some of these players, maybe not as familiar with others, but Excalibur specifically. Again, not only off of that recent performance, but he has been a player in the scene 2-3 years or so. He's always kind of been a player that we've seen actually have pretty legit events, but he's been tossed around teams like crazy. Kind of, you know, one that's been thrown around a bit, whether that's, you know, on him or just that's just, you know, nature of the beast. But he has proven to be a good player.
Yeah, I mean, Kips has really pointed out that a lot of these names are a bit familiar if you've been in the scene for quite a while, right? You've seen some of these names before. So it's kind of interesting to see that they've kind of cobbled together and they're finding some success with the synergy going on with it, because that's half the battle, right? Whenever you're, you know, a player, you're just looking for that team that is going to allow you to be your best and allow you to do what you need. Versus, you know, when you fight each other and there's some inner tensions and you don't trust each other and then one person dives, the other's like, don't do it, you know. And we still see that in like even high-tier teams. But if you get the Luna, that is a very, very popular hero right now.
Yeah, like a mercenary for hire. That's the term that I was looking for. But that's no longer the case with this team. You know, this is kind of a fresh team with some other players there. So.
The Luna is, so team fight presence as well as a flash farm, something that the Lifestealer is not going to have all that much of. She's going to outscale him eventually. I think we've seen her do decently well in these matchups in SA as well. But of course, she is much more fragile in the lane. She's going to need more protection. She might actually want to have a complete tri-lane around her on the bottom lane. Although, you know, Monkey King Beastmaster, I'm not sure how powerful of a lane that really is. So maybe you can get away with just a Witch Doctor with his sustain, with that cask to stop any engagements going on her.
We have seen a couple support Lunas earlier today, even in the European region, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. Just pointing that out.
I really like her matchup against the Lifestealer. I think in general they have a very good, like a good Luna game here. I don't see many immense problems for her. The Doom, and they're going to need something, like, I'll always say that need, but maybe it's more like they'd probably more want something with a little bit more, like some disable on the mid lane, something that doesn't require the most farm. Burst damage maybe. The Luna is going to take care of the pushing for sure. You have the Doom and a Witch Doctor that are sustaining so much. Tiny's going to burst. So, well, pretty good all-around lineup already, I'd say, actually. Just make sure that you don't get too greedy on that last pick. And they are not going to have the overall last pick. They're going to have to follow up the Luna first.
What about here like a Timbersaw mid for the real deal? What he's up against right now, it's a fair amount more physical damage threat than magic damage, and of course that's something he minds. Now, you are picking that into, I believe OG has the last pick, right? So I guess that could be a little concerning. If you do that.
I just feel like it eats up so much space. Like it creates space, but it also eats space at the same time, which can be a bit difficult because Luna, you know, I guess in some ways it's going to be able to clear out waves. It's going to be able to push them out. Luna, you know, wants to be able to bounce between the lane and the jungle. So if you're having this Timbersaw that's just eating up all of the space, it does make it a little more difficult.
Yeah.
But you do have a Tiny, you do have a Witch Doctor. That's a good roaming combo. As soon as Doom gets a 6, you'll probably see him, you know, start making some rotations, trying to be very active because, again, you want to have enough space here for your core.
Another maybe safer option, similar idea to Timbersaw against physical damage. He's better as that Dragon Knight. His matchups overall perhaps a bit better than what Timbersaw would be.
He's also very unbothered, I would say, by Doom.
Oh, Timbersaw's banned, by the way. So
I did. That's
good discussion we had.
Yeah, you know.
You know, just putting that out there.
Right.
Yeah, so not going to see him. Huskar.
Yeah, Huskar was taken out again.
So Kunkka's still up for both parties. I think I'd actually like that for the real deal.
Oh, ooh, okay. Well, it's a little greedy. We talked about maybe something not too farm dependent, but it does allow them to do more split pushing. It's really going to shred through some of those buildings as well.
Yeah, for sure. Once this team gets the ball rolling, if they do, like if they're on your tower, you're not going to get them off. No way. So, and I imagine the Luna could really deal with like the frontline tank of the bear, as well as having, you know, this extra, well, almost sniper-like lone druid sitting in the back.
But is it though? See, I was actually just going to bring that up. This to me, and again, I know lone druid bear build is not nearly as popular as it was anymore. This to me seems like a game where he could get away playing that bear build, as that's a Drow Ranger. Final pick. for OG.
Wow. All right. Well, there's a lot of like really tanky people in the way, obviously. So, you know, that's, I don't know. I still think that's pretty scary, right? You got a Tiny on the other team. Like, he's just going to hunt you down and find you. He doesn't need to worry about getting through all the other heroes that are in the front.
Yeah, marksmanship definitely will be strong in this game. It's a nice flash farming tool as well. There is no synergy, though, as far as her precision R goes, other than the Enchantress. So
well, I mean, that's good enough sometimes. Like,
well, they could still decide to run the Enchantress offlane.
So put her as a core to take advantage of that.
Could be, yes.
All right, guys. So thinking about that, what do we think about our predictions? Who do we like better right now? Because I personally, I like the Real Deals draft quite a bit. Especially because of the last pick Drow, personally, on the other team, because you have a Tiny who's going to be able to jump her, and I think that's going to be a huge problem, especially if he gets going, right? But what do you guys think? Tell me.
For me, the draft that's coming out from the Real Deal is going to need too much time.
Okay.
Like, I know they just did really well with the Terrorblade, but they also had the heroes to make space for him. So right now, gimme OG, they got the ways to make tempo, and they have a nice, like, solid curve going into that.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Great.
Kind of going off what Kip said, I do think this is somewhat of a faster-paced draft from OG, especially with that Drow Ranger final pick. And because you have a Lone Druid and a Luna that will ideally want a lot more time, it could get out of hand quickly if you're not careful. So more experienced team, OG, going with them.
All right. So we've got Breaking on OG, and a lot of really, really good points made there, especially about tempo. Again, concerned a little bit about that Drow Ranger, just, you know, the fact that they could potentially be able to get the jump on her, but everything else looking out from that draft is looking pretty solid. So I'm going to have to say OG. I'm guessing production is going to be the contrarian, as per usual, and pick the Real Deal.
At this
there
point,
it is.
Thank you, production. I would honestly be so disappointed if it was a sweep by now.
Right.
That was, what's the fun?
Well, you know, I feel like production really likes to rub it in our faces. If they get it right, we all get it wrong. So, yeah, that's zoom in over there.
9 points over there. Yep, they've caught up, but still behind.
Still behind.
Still on a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who doesn't want to beat the experts, right?
Right.
That's me.
That's why they call him Bricky the expert.
I've totally never been called that in my life. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Fine. I'll say that it's an honor to beat me, okay?
There
Even though I have consistently the lowest score.
So humble there, Kips. No tells on the Enchantress, by the way. So it is going to be a support Enchantress, so true support there. I'm guessing that means, Jarek's on the Monkey King once again.
The lane's pretty much panning out as we thought that they were, so no tails supporting I Like to Win up on the bottom lane. And Witch Doctor also over here for now.
I like the Witch Doctor a lot, being kind of to duke it out with the Enchantress for sure. Being able to have that Maledict now that it's been, I believe the cooldown was changed on it, makes it easier to spam in the lane a little bit. And Enchantress, you know, if she's got that Untouchable, is difficult to harass, but, you know, with the Maledict itself, we'll be able to help kind of, not keep her down, but, you know.
It's just more harassment, more poking, and something like that's, of course, going to be great to have against a hero like an Enchantress, no doubt.
We got a menagerie. We got a little. I want some piggy balloons too. I would like the Macy's Day Parade here over in this jungle.
There are a lot of different flavors of pig.
It's definitely a boar.
That one is a boar.
That
one looks like a boar. One of the other ones just looks like an abomination.
Boar, not a pig?
Yeah, no, I was referring to the other day when we were commenting.
We had our
one of the Beastmaster skins.
Yeah, one of the
It looked a little odd.
This definitely looks like a boar, but we do have plenty of stacks over here to get activated, and it looks like Sashlo is probably going to be the first blood.
Is this really going to be first blood this way?
Literally just walking.
Walking and hitting.
Oh, he ate the boar?
Ate the boar. Yeah.
The regen. He popped us out for that.
This is the slowest chase.
Slowest first blood ever.
There it is.
And now he's dead.
And there goes Jarek.
Well.
It's a very exciting start to our game number 2.
Yeah. Gets the tip from his teammate right there. Good job. No, got the first blood, though. Suicided, essentially, to then get back and ASAP. So I still think worth it for OG.
Especially since that's a Monkey King. I'm not sure if he had boots already, but he must have them now. And
yeah, I don't think he did.
He didn't because
Orb of Venom.
He had Orb of Venom, exactly. So he is going to be a major nuisance to deal with now.
So they go for the full tri lane down here, though. No tell, only going to be able to do so much. Does get the heal at level 1. for the time being. But apparently, an Enchantress is that scary. He's literally making them all run away as they are pulling back the creep wave. But I got to assume this is going to be a free farm lane for the Luna at this point.
She's got plenty of people to protect her. You know, you've got the cask picked up over on the Witch Doctor. You're going to have the Tiny who's going to be able to, you know, toss or avalanche or whatever is necessary. So I don't think that'll be too much of a problem with what it is. Although, you know, Jerry may be trying to prove me wrong a little bit over here, but he's actually going to be all right. So, and as I say that, one more hit, and they'll take down Jerry, but they find a kill on ILTW, and I think you are absolutely okay with that because it goes over to Excalibur for that kill.
Yeah, but if you're ILTW, I mean, that's making the best of a bad situation right there. And that was just a great heads-up play by him. A lot of players may have tried to just run right there, you know, juke through the trees, hope for the best. He was putting in those auto attacks, and every single time he had it up, and because of that, he actually got the first, or not the first blood, but the kill first.
Right.
In that case.
They are sacrificing Satchelo for this, though. And you see Jarek with the boots and the Orb of Venom, he's just running him down.
It's a very sad Doom right there.
Yeah, how many games have we seen dominated by Doom in the laning phase? And this is why you pick this hero, if anything, because of the regen. Yeah, how about that? He's got the heal. That's not one you see often. Spam. Spam that heal. And it does provide the mana regen as well. So it's kind of like a nice mini Crystal Maiden aura there.
Jarek saying, oh, wow, you know, you have a lot of health again. Let me help you out with that and just turn right back around.
Come on, sprites.
I forget what that creep is called, but... yeah, not
one of the troll priests.
That's what it is, troll priest, yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah, he's not there anymore, obviously.
They've lost their priest.
Those are his friends.
He's been sacrificed to the Doom Lord here.
They're mourning. Meanwhile, Beastmaster, Seb, he's got all the free farm in the world. Vlad's in the works.
Jarex is just doing a number here on poor Sashlo.
I'm surprised he got level 2 at this rate.
Yeah. What was that? We had another game where the Doom was just forced back so hard. It wasn't Blizzy. It was a different Doom. But I remember like he had to come back really hard.
I mean, Blizzy did have a comeback, but that was on.
There was another one though. There was another game that we were casting.
Brewmaster.
The hero can recover. You know, with that Devour, of course, being spammed, he will eventually get so. You know, may change his item build a little bit, but
Moose was doing something else. He was playing the Tiny all the time. He doesn't play offline.
It's been a lot of Dota, Moxie.
There's been a lot of Dota. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been great.
Awesome to be able to like be here with you guys, talk about the games.
Oh, thanks.
And yet they actually force Jerry to play now.
She's like, I'm just gonna ignore this.
Gives us like friendship. What? Oh, the Avalanche.
There's video games.
The Avalanche comes to eventually the Madness though, and Sashlo again. He's having trouble. Looks like he's gonna get taken down again. Nice toss back though. Actually, will save his life. Nice play by Jerry.
The reason why I'm like excited about that is because, you know, there was this standoff between OG and the Real Deal. Like, who is going to move their support first? Is Jerry's going to get forced into the tri-lane, which is a win for the Real Deal, or is Jerry going to be forced up? And the Real Deal has conceded here.
All right. Well, I think Sashlo is like, please, for the love of God,
help!
I can't even be in my own lane. Like, oh, middle lane, Thompson's gonna be chased down by a very hungry bear. And that Fairy Fire actually buying him a little bit more time, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a kill for Lone Druid. And we also get a kill on Jerry. All right, I guess looks like we're also going to have a little bit of trouble here. Excalibur going to get saved, but okay. Yep, top lane.
The problem with rotating your hero to an already lost lane
49 hit points.
Is that they're already very strong, especially if you do it too late. But yeah, so I have to say, like, the choice was kind of already made, and I think that this was just OG rubbing their faces in it. But fortunately for the Real Deal, they have been winning mid solo really hard because of this.
Yeah.
And they actually put ILTW in the mid lane now.
Swap things up. Definitely better dealing with the bear, I would assume, but yeah, that's proven to be an issue for Thompson right now. He is not having a friendly game. 15 and 4 CS, being more than doubled in CS right now by the Lone Druid.
They found them, so the Fear Spell coming through, the pathing, toss up into the air, and ILTW has been ganked.
Yeah, the heal's only going to be able, it's similar to the Witch Doctor heal as well. It's going to be over time, you know, not this burst heal like a purification or anything. So even with the use of it right there, no chance for Lifestealer to get out.
Oh, I feel better already.
Getting such musical lanes now all of a sudden.
Yeah, now Beastmaster's going to get the show.
Seb's here, and Thompson I think is still hanging out in the jungle. Jerry making a rotation, thinking about going in.
The pressure was taken off of the bot lane, and you see immediately the supports can go anywhere they want.
That belongs to me.
So they're going to give it to Thompson more so up here to take the lane that's basically been dead for the other team.
Well, that probably also means that Satchel is at less of a risk of dying now.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can, I mean, honestly, the Monkey King was solo harassing him so incredibly hard here. Topson gonna get ganked a little bit. He's got those frost arrows. They'll turn their attention over here onto Sashlo. Avalanche does come through here. It's like Jerry trying to find Topson is just in a very awkward position. He's gonna get taken down. It's actually gonna be Witch Doctor who finds that kill. And Jarek's now just gonna walk away.
Yeah, maybe Sashlo is a little safer, but at the same time, Topson's not safe still.
No.
They're making it a point to keep him in check, which of course makes sense, just the player that he is. But yeah, this Drow is going to be not providing a whole lot because I go back to, in a lot of these games, you see, okay, he has precision aura, you know, at least for the synergy of the team that he's leveling up, but no matter what his farm is, it doesn't really benefit anyone other than the Enchantress, so.
It's been interesting too because they made the rotation with those supports to the top lane to get the gank off. Although over here looks like Jarek's gonna get tossed up right to the Doom. Goes in for the tree. Boundless will connect over here, but still gonna get hit with that big old flaming sword. And Jarek's will go down. So they do rotate two of the supports top to put a lot of pressure on Topson to also alleviate some of the pressure on Sashlo. Before, though, it was literally just Jarek's v Sashlo while, you know, Seb was farming. So it was okay for, you know, the side of OG. But now that they've got this rotation, now that they have to be careful to protect this Drow, I think that's not going to be the case any longer.
She does get her marksmanship, and she goes right to the jungle. There's a stack over here. I'm guessing she's going to go for this. And again, this is like fun. Oh, never mind. I'm going to go for a smoke instead. But, or not.
No, I don't think that was a...
I think she was just standing in the vicinity of the smoke when it occurred.
But the idea that when that procs, of course, it will one-shot whatever, as you see right there, that she's attacking. So depending on RNG, it still could take a little bit, but overall, it's a nice way to recover if you're behind on Drow. That feels good, man.
Man, I can't get, like, Kips mentioned this earlier when we were watching the game, the new last hit animation.
Oh,
or not the animation, the gold popping. Yeah, it's very violent now.
A little bit different there.
Kind of funny.
Things seem to be settling a little bit down now that Topson has finally fully rotated into the jungle.
Is it okay for Excalibur just to like he's not the top of the net worth currently, although he's bridging up there, right? But they've just kind of left him alone, and it's a Luna. It's a Luna. It's one of those heroes that flash farms. Is it okay that she's getting so much out of this lane? Because her lane went well too. It wasn't that there was too much of an issue earlier on, but now she's getting, you know, even more space. She can always go back to the jungle. Is this going to come back to bite them in the butt?
They don't have a lot of ways to deal with it right now. I think it's kind of the big issue.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is actually that ILTW did not get out of the laning stage very well. You're going to have to... I mean, to be fair, Seb did have a good laning stage, and that man is crazy good at making tempo. He knows exactly how to make sure that a game starts moving, and it starts moving right. But... yeah, I said before, Lifestealer doesn't really have any flash farming tools, and he is behind on a Luna who has this natural bouncing glaive. So, yeah, it is a problem already.
Yeah, Mask of Madness well in the works. Morbid Mask to come soon at least. Got a Blink Dagger on, was that Beastmaster?
No, that was on Drow.
Oh, Drow. Okay. They're queued up at least.
Yeah, you know, trying to get better positioning. What do you think about that, Kips? Is
first item blink.
Yeah, the first item blink.
Interesting.
You can't see her face when she said that.
Well, because like, what is it instead of, right? Like a Dragon Lance, a Shadow Blade even, potentially. Yeah. So those are kind of the different options. I think it's just solely, this is a mix of her recovering / he's going to play the whole jumping in and gusting people and allow your Lifestealer, maybe even play the Lifestealer bomb.
All right, Maposhko in the woods with a very scary master of beasts is going to get taken down. It almost feels like the Blink's a little too defensive in a sense. Like, I feel like she needs something to kind of help her accelerate the farm other than just, you know, what's built into the hero.
I think it goes back to the tempo of this lineup, though. That's what we're talking about with the draft and, you know, making our predictions there. This is a lineup that has, you know, a lot of that chance to play aggressive early on, and you're dealing with a lineup on the other side that'll scale very well as the game picks up, and the fact that they're already having a good laning stage, I think even makes it that much more important. You need to make sure to get this early advantage working for you, so perhaps that's the ultimate logic for Topson there.
Yeah, ILTW's just got to get out of here. The pin's ring on him really, really hard. They're just going to chew through the tower. I think there was a Dessa that was going to be queued up on the Lone Druid too, so yeah, they're going to go right for these buildings. And
Seb, meanwhile, is already working on the top tower.
Has fallen.
Jarek's watching for the rotations. And it looks like the real deal is just going to let this go. So they're giving up all of the space in their jungle, just because it means that right now their Luna is not getting bothered. They're getting some space on the bottom lane. But Seb pushes really fast with that inner beast, with the Vlad done now.
This is so awkward for Jarex. He's given this team information, of course, which is great, but unfortunately not able to get much out of it. Although he will block this camp with the sentry. Okay. Clever plays there. Gonna block both, actually. Blocks the Ancient as well.
That one doesn't block, though.
Does it not block?
The other observer over
Oh,
here.
that one doesn't. No,
Yeah, the sentry
on the right.
That
Yeah,
goes to vision.
I also noticed Lone Druid got the range talent, so that does confirm we are going to see the range Lone Druid,
Yeah.
and yeah, the Desolator being built on top of that. So again, the idea that we could have possibly seen the bear build, not going to be happening here.
Right into the Roche pit.
And Beastmaster Medallion.
Look how fast this guy's melting. Even have a Cardi outside, man. Jarek's doing a little bit of scouting. Jerry seems unaware. Just gonna go hit some creeps.
Was that 6 sentries I saw on Jerax? He's just
So he's going to block
sentry
all of the camps.
Yeah.
I feel like when you do that, you just like giggle maniacally to yourself, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
You know
wanna
they're going to
farm?
be pissed. Oh, Courier?
No, he can't.
He's just keeping tabs on the Luna, giving them a lot of
He
info.
really is. It's like his job.
I found it really interesting when you see just plays like that. You know, any other four would say, I need my levels here, guys. I need my farm. He had a... What did he have queued up before? I think it was a diffusal blade. It's like, I want to get there eventually, guys. And he's, for like the past couple of minutes, all he's been doing is walking around, placing sentries, giving information. He just knows that right now, that's his job. That's what's going to give his team the most space to get their items up. And Seb is nearly caught up to this Lone Druid.
There's that blink.
Blink dagger.
Be able to slow them down just a little bit, like the Impetus coming out with the slow on top of the soft slow is just going to be tested. Actually, is the Roar only managing to get the Doom, who's already pretty much on the outs anyway, so.
You see that attack speed on No-Tail. So that's the inner beast plus the Drow Aura. One hell of a fast-hitting Enchantress.
Yeah, and even though she doesn't have any items really, her impetus is still actually potentially strong, you know, depending on how far ranged they are. So it's even though it's that true 5 support, he actually is benefiting quite a bit more from it than I would have expected.
It seems to be the No-Tail story lately. If you see these heroes, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, they're a core now. Kind of interesting too. They've got all the D wards coming out, but you have so much vision, right? You've got Jerax is just kind of chilling out in the trees. You've got the Hawk. You've got just a lot of information that you're able to use right now. Like, look at this. Seb's just going to be able to walk away. They can see over here. No-Tail taking a bit of damage. Maybe shouldn't have been there at that point, but again, just Jerax keeping tabs over here on Luna.
Doesn't have Untouchable yet. Noticed on Enchantress right there.
I noticed that when they were in the Roche pit because I was surprised that the Enchantress wasn't actually tanking.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, if you're going for more of a support and then of course the Enchant having that change, it makes sense that you.
Yeah, level 4, maxed it out.
So all of a sudden, even though it looked like OG didn't have the best landing stage, they just leveraged the tools they had. They take one of those turnaround fights with the Tops and Blink, very clever. And 1.5 more towers on top of the 2 that they already had.
Well, it's funny because I was saying, you know, the Blink felt a little defensive. Oh, Sashlo walks right into Lifestealer. He's going to get doomed up, but again, he's a Lifestealer. He's just going to fight through it. He doesn't care. He says, all right, you know, this is mildly inconvenient, but I know the rest of my team is over here too. I'm going to turn this back around. Thompson throws out a warning shot.
He's fine.
And he's absolutely fine.
I mean,
That's not the target that you really want to have that Doom on, right, Kips?
No, not in my opinion, no.
Very nice way to say it. Jerry is not long for this world either.
I was going to talk about how a Blink on Thompson was never going to be defensive.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, this is, you can tell the pace now really picking up for OG. They're going to group back up mid lane and try to get this tier 2 tower now. In fact, Seb's already cutting the creep wave behind it. Yeah, using that medallion.
Seb's had a great game.
He's going to go full Solar Crest is what he's got queued up even at this point.
He's also making it a great game. I think that really deserves to be said here. I am very sure that the amount of calls that are coming out to this guy right now, he is guiding this entire assault effort. Look at it.
Look at the bear. There was a bear there like 2 seconds ago, and it was just absolutely
This team technically
murdered.
broke even in the laning stage, barely. They're up 2k, they're taking base at 16 minutes.
Yeah.
They just know their strengths, and they're doing it so well.
Know their strengths, aka Beatsmaster.
Oh, the roar comes out again,
Really?
trying to go after the bear. This
No
is
bear?
No summon now, yeah.
Sprites are with us.
No bear, no mid tier 3.
Radiant's top tower.
And like, you look at this lone druid, he's trying whatever he can. He does have that Dust completed, but he's just not making a dent, really, you know? They'll actually go and they'll use the Witch Doctor ulti, but it's just mostly to zone them off. That's going to be on cooldown now. They didn't find any kills or anything. Jarek's jumping back down. They've wow.
Jeez.
Oh, my word. All right. That is,
That's what happens when you go Desolator first item, essentially.
yeah.
That's what that was.
Jerry Thompson just constantly throwing down those slows with the Frost
Are
arrows.
they just
Yeah,
winning it here?
They're just, yeah.
Like-
We are fifth.
They're running out of mana on No Tail.
Okay.
So that might be something. Oh, that's a nice coconut.
See, using the clarity on top of that, though,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
it's the tower's going to fall. This is 17 minutes in now. It's already Rax mid, and they're going to go for the Rax top on top of this.
Feels
I
like
think they
OG.
missed dinner after the
Yeah.
previous game, and they're just upset,
Someone's
man.
got a date tonight, and they're like, yo, we got to finish this up.
But this is so good from the real deal. This is like they are desperate early enough. This is the backstab.
Yeah,
Let's see what works out.
The Eclipse, they've even got the Maledict down. That's a dead Thompson. They're going to keep on chasing through. Good pin swing. There's going to be Jerry going in the back lines there with the Avalanche. I hear the Doom going off over here. It is again over onto ILTW. And really split up. Jarek's trying to hide himself here. Does have the Jingu stacks, but he's just running in the woods with a lot of very unhappy Dire here. As the toss-up coming out, Luna, I don't even know what just happened there. He's out. Now Seb turns back around. They've got the roar, and ILTW, he's decided, all right, I think we've had enough. I'm just going to rage TP out here.
A very smart move.
Rax
by
dead,
the real
though.
deal. Yeah,
Rex.
Rex dead.
That was a lot.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I mean,
Maybe
it's only a 3,000 net worth lead, but it is by far more than that right now for OG, considering it's jumps up to 4K there even. But
Look at the difference, though, the shift of the graph, too. Win probability, 9% for the Dire, 91% for Radiant.
Solid, solid. And one of the problems with getting Rax this early is that while you can defend it fairly easily still, you are getting a lot less gold out of the lanes. And the lane gold has been nerfed already. So both of these lanes are going to generate a lot less income, as well as having this steady pressure on their base.
Seb was doing that push without a Necronomicon. He just delivered a level 2 Necronomicon to him.
So you know you're balling when you can just buy stuff straight out and you don't have to worry about that. They have anything to cancel? No, they do not. So Sashlo gonna thank his lucky stars that they don't have like a centaur creep or something.
They had a net, it was flying
They
out.
did have the net.
Yeah, how's that troll there?
You can imagine that he just sort of ducked underneath it and it flew over his head.
No, no.
I'll do better next time.
Get Sprite.
Oh, the revenge coming out from Seb though. He's like, how dare you do that to my no-tail? Don't touch my bro here. Bottom lane, oh, Lone Druid, he was trying, he was hoping, but they'll still find him here. One more hit, and that's going to be a kill for LCW. The blink coming out, though, from the tiny Jerry's going to just run back. Doesn't want anything to do with that at this time. And that's a shrine down. Seb and his menagerie. Look at this. This is like a game for a Winter Wyvern, if ever I saw one, to have his minions turn on him and slaughter.
Pause the game, guys. We need to make a sub.
Yeah, one sec. Oh, this is very satisfying when you do that one. They hit the Monkey King over here. Jerax just turning into tree toss up. I don't believe he's... Oh, they missed the stomp, but they still get the kill.
They do
Feels
pick
like
up
they're
his
just kind of
blast.
like running all over the place now instead of...
Yeah, it's just, OG has made this game, you know, a very chaotic game for the real deal. And so that's why we're kind of seeing that. You know, just moving all over the map, but obviously on top of that, their map has shrunk quite a bit. With the Rax being destroyed, the vision in general, they're trying to deal with that in recovery. Although these heroes have that potential, both the Lone Druid and especially the Luna, when you can't farm freely, it'll change the pace of that, of course.
Yes, like one of the things that happens when you push your base this early is that, as you said, the terrain shrinks, right? So then their heroes are also going to be closer together. Meanwhile, you've just spent all that time with all your heroes close together. Usually you want to catch up, especially in levels. Farm, as you can see, OG have no problems with that, but they have some levels they want to hit. You see, that's what you get with all the pushing. So the line is going back up now because they have spread out again. But the problem with that is if you spread out on a map where the enemy is still very clustered, you're going to get picked off. There's going to be two of them where there's only one of you. And even if you're ahead in farm, you're usually not ahead enough in farm to make sure you don't get those pickoffs. So this is really a place where if you're pushing like that and then you temporize, so to speak, you need to stay calm and say, all right, these pickoffs were going to happen anyway. I'm going to just take them. And then here, now that they're ready, they've hit their next items, hit their next timings.
They found themselves Jerry. The toss Monkey King pops on out like a juke at the box and goes right back there.
That was funny. Tossed the monkey, but Lifestealer just didn't care.
Yeah.
He stayed on the ground, beat him down. SNY finished.
Solid pickoff.
Yeah, these item builds too. Again, it just screams let's push and win early. The SNY Lifestealer, like we mentioned the earlier blink on Drow. Diffusal finished on Monkey King, which if he gets a Wukong's off especially.
I didn't know you could do that actually, like just step off the tree onto the high ground there. I've never seen that before.
Oh, in that spot specifically? Yeah.
Dire's bottom shrine
Interesting.
is under attack.
Just very systematically taking down that second shrine. Yeah.
They don't even have the tier 1 bottom, and they're already killing both shrines.
They can sort of boink that one over if they want to.
Yeah, they're gonna.
They can just sneeze on it. I'm pretty sure it'll fall over at this point.
They're going to kill it. Just
the boars maybe, just not even.
And that's the Necro level 3 on Beastmaster.
Yeah. Almost a blink too, so he'll have follow up with the Drow and just his own initiation, of course, with that Primal Roar. Yeah, this Lone Druid, I mean, this build's not going to work anymore. It might be. It's, you know, if they had this, obviously the laning phase went great for them, and they were able to accelerate and hold off this earlier push, absolutely. But he's struggling.
You feel almost a little bad here for the Luna because the Luna has finished up her BKB now, right? And usually, you know, when you get that done on your Luna, you're feeling pretty solid. But they have this Beastmaster, and his positioning has been good. These roars are on point. I'm not even sure if the BKB is going to even do that much for her, especially like he just picks up the blink. Blink coming in.
Oh, do you want to take this fight?
They want to.
They want to. I was about to say, I was like waiting for like anything to happen, and everybody just dealt
the real deal's like no.
No,
we run.
Not from the low ground, especially.
Even with a double damage, and as you mentioned, that BKB finish. BKB. But I absolutely agree with you, Moxie. This is just one of those unfortunate games. It's necessary to have, but at the same time,
is it, really
it doesn't actually do enough. And yeah, it's those.
I think I heard a Lincoln's popping. Yep.
Yeah, that's the Roche. He's up and running.
OG was gonna just smoke there, and I think it's unfortunate. It's always harder for the Dire side to pull off that smoke into Roche, especially if you're smoking into the Radiant jungle. You then have to pass the mid tier 1 tower to walk up to Roche. It's kind of awkward anyway.
Oh, Luna, thinking her lucky stars.
Just thanking the moon.
Thanking the moon. Salamene, mom.
But what does it mean?
That's philosophical.
Sorry, well, just got deep.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Back to the game.
Well, there's one hawk down. So the creeps already took care of the racks in the mid lane. There's always going to be this split pressure on the base now. There's not like their heroes, especially the supports, are not the greatest. You want the Tiny to jump, I suppose. Witch Doctor can't clear. Doom and Lone Druid also can't clear that fast. They're looking for a jump on the mid lane.
Ready, Sashlo should be able to get himself out. Yeah, no problem. The toss though over here. Jerry finding himself
a no-tail.
Himself a no-tail pretty fast. Nice roar coming through again. We'll be able to just take down the Tiny. I hear a Doom coming out over on the lifestyle. Again, he does not care. Minimally cares. There's going to be the BKB coming out here from Luna with the Eclipse. She's going to try to run herself out, but it's not doing a whole heck of a lot. The sad trombone coming out from Jarek right now.
As he's standing in there.
Yeah, he's like, all right, well, you know. Witch Doctor now going to get open wounds, slowly being chased down by ICW. He'll find that kill, and then we'll just turn their attention now over to Lone Druid. He's just obliterated as well. Sashlo still hoping a prayer here, but I think he needs a little bit more than that. And we do get the buyback coming up from Lone Druid, but I think he's just bought that.
He doesn't even have a bear.
Yeah, he can just watch the buildings getting destroyed in person, you know?
Yeah, it's...
Well, the Desolator is on him. I saw a nice trading war of hits with tops in there, but unfortunately he bit
He needs
dust.
so much more than just that, though.
Yes.
You can deny the tower more effectively.
There you go. Oh, Jerry, he was trying. He was like, you know what? We're gonna give it our best shot, but it is not looking good right now. Look at all the damage coming out over here on the Lone Druid. ILTW says, oh, what you doing? I want to be a part of that. We'll be able to get a mega kill. Turn his attention now over on to Jerry. Jerry trying to run himself back in. Aegis will actually pop Sashlo, walking away as slowly as possible. These rainbows right to the face. He's going to get taken down, and I believe that is going to be our game.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this is...
or they're going to fountain dive.
Yeah, no, this is that
End
overtime
game.
phase. They're not officially calling it, but it might as well be.
Oh, the toss back, though, Seb! Cheeky, cheeky.
That's a shame. I think they were waiting to get one of those kills before calling it as a matter of honor, you know.
Right. End on a good note.
If they are diving your fountain, you need to make sure that at least one of them dies for their hubris.
It's a matter of principle,
yes.
you know? You just be, at least I got one. Gotcha.
Got him.
So this means OG is now in the winner bracket, the playoffs, and they're going to be playing NIP in the first round.
All right.
NIP, of course, defeating Secret earlier. As we heard,
that was a surprise.
A little bit of an upset there.
Cool.
Hey, I mean, upsets more so because Secret in general has just looked like one of the, if not the most dominant team this season, right? So, especially in the European region. But yeah, so it'll be NIP versus OG, as I mentioned, as far as the real deal. That's what they're called, yeah. The real deal, they're going to be knocked down.
Show some respect to the name, Perky.
My bad. They'll be playing Vega Squadron.
Okay.
In that first round matchup in the lower bracket.
All right. Well, I think any parting thoughts, actually, Kips, on that last game?
I thought they were going to win fast, but I didn't think they'd do it this fast.
That was really fast.
Right,
I'm going to go back to that replay and look a bit at like how they leveraged their way through that game, because it's when all the the timings and the decisions that are made come together so well. Like someone has made those plans. It's not just like this happened accidentally. So I want to see, all right, if you want to play like this, what kind of decisions do you need to make? Because this is inspiring stuff to me.
Yeah, no, it was very impressive, especially just how fast they cracked that base, seeing, the way that they really, zoned out. The Doom, poor Sashlo, had just the worst time in that top lane. And then, also forcing them, I know this is something that you really love, is the psychological game of how do we force them to make the first move and move those supports. But
it was the movement as well as the item choices, I think, was the biggest thing for me, that they really showed how they can adapt to these games. And again, it started with the Blink Dagger on Drow, and we were kind of unsure about it, but it definitely made sense as the game picked up there. The S and a Y build into, I believe he's even going to AC. That's not your typical build on the lifestealer every game, but because of how the game was playing out, they're good at adjusting, and they proved that once again there. So
we could keep going on and on about this, but I believe we are going to head to a break, guys, and I think we're coming back with American Dota. So make sure you stick around.